All right, we're just recording. So can you do the pray, please?
I can.
All right.
Let us close our eyes and begin to calm ourselves from the day's busyness with slow, deep breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. And after doing that 3 or more times, continue that pattern as we now welcome the spirits to join us this evening. And we welcome Jesus to be present as well. And we ask for the guidance to both hear and listen and understand, and then begin to apply what it is we learn. And we humbly request permission to begin tonight's session. And so be it.
So be it.
Okay, this is the first section of chapter 4 on multiple lives. And this section is titled On Reincarnation. And question 166, how can a soul that has not reached perfection during corporeal life achieve purification? And the answer is by experiencing the trial of a new existence. So achieving purification is another way of saying progressing on the path towards the highest of the 10 levels of spirits.
Right. Pure spirits.
And it takes multiple, as we'll hear, multiple lifetimes to be able to achieve the necessary purification steps.
Right.
So, second question, part of this question is, how does the soul carry out this new existence? Is it through its transformation as a spirit? The soul undergoes a transformation when it purifies itself. For this transformation to happen, it needs to experience the trial of corporeal life. Next part of this question, does the soul have multiple corporeal lives? Yes, many lives. Those who say any different would like you to stay ignorant like them. I love that.
I do love that too. Because it's easier to
Yes,
think that we have just this life and that's it,
yes.
which doesn't answer any of those deep questions, but let's think like that and be happy, right?
And the last part, this statement implies that the soul, after leaving one body, inhabits another. In other words, it reincarnates itself. Is this correct? Obviously. In many ways, it is that simple. In other ways, it's not that simple.
Well, the process, let's say, is not that simple, but the goal it is. The results it is. And it's important to highlight in this question that when the spirit reincarnated, it's in a new brand body. It's not in somebody else's body, as so many people think, which is kind of be impossible because the spirit is unique as the body. So it's a very new body to the spirit that comes to the, the infant life, baby, and then so on, so on.
I don't think it's said this way, but there's something else that I think is an important, obvious statement, and that is that the reincarnation requires coming as a baby. You don't get to reincarnate as someone that is older, already an adult or already a child or whatever. You have to be born
Yeah,
into the human life form.
right. It's as simple as like that. When some people don't understand the process and just get confused by reincarnation or incorporation, when mediums receive spirits and they think the spirit is inside of their body, and they get confused on that, but it's two totally different things.
Yeah.
And I remember this because we got this question once a long time ago, and it was like, no. As some people think that we can reincarnate as animals as well. Not anymore. Maybe in the beginning, but not anymore. um, or in the body of an animal or something like that. So that must be very clear that no, we go through the whole process as human beings.
167. What is the purpose of reincarnation? Atonement and the progressive betterment of humankind. Without this, where would its justice lie?
This is the one that for the entire book of the Spirit's book is that explain everything. Because uh, how many times we receive those questions as a spiritist? For what is the purpose of reincarnation? Why you have to come back? Nobody wants to come back if you have to, or why I'm gonna do such a thing in the world like that, or other questions like that. And when you try to understand so many suffering in this world without the reincarnation, there is no explain. It's impossible to understand the trials that you go on, things that you have to go through, and just ended up in just die and that's it. And normally we talk to people that believe in God, but even the ones that don't believe, and if you believe in something that it's smart, in a smarted process of the world. So because nothing doesn't creating nothing, and the nothing doesn't exist. And it's kind like, that's why these explanations make so sense for most of us. Because there is a time that we are going to make this question, where would its justice, where would be the justice? The God justice, if you believe in God. That's why, of course, then you can go deep and deep in this answer. The progress of humankind, be better, and blah blah blah. But this questions is so simple, but it's so deep, and the answer is simple. So if you believe in justice and a smart one that it knows what it's doing, just thinking about it. You go through this life, those so many things, pass for so many things, and that's it. And you die. And that's it. And then things start making sense in your head, like, yeah, it doesn't make sense just having one life, or even don't believe in other lives, but You start believing that is something afterlife, you know, like must be something else.
I am I am always, when I read this question, I am always stopped first with the first word, atonement. Accountability, the judgment day, the what did you do right, what didn't you do right, what didn't you do that you should have done, what did you do that you shouldn't have done, and so on and so on and so on. And if you live a life where you convince yourself that you think you have more on the positive side than on the negative side, um, it gives you a certain amount of ego and pride as you enter into this. Well, if there is a next life, then I should be okay.
Right. And you put a word there, is the word that I hear all the time from Tiago. And Tiago all the time tells me that what he likes about the doctrine from the spirits, what he likes the most, accountability. That's on you and nobody else. So you don't have nobody to blame, even God.
And and the sideline discussion about cause and effect, and the reality that everything in life is of my own doing. Everything in my life is of my own doing. Yeah, I'm accountable. I'm 100% accountable.
And thinking about it, that's the beauty. So when we just realize that, it seems simple, but it's amazing because we have the power on our hands. We are the ones that can change paths the way that we want. And of course, cause and effect, what you do right now is the things that you have to face in the future. But it's up to you if you want to face a beautiful life or a very hard one. And one more time, you don't have no one to blame. Even when then the reincarnations plays a role, because when some people come to you and say, oh, but I have problems with my I don't know, my family, or somebody have done something terrible to me and I have done nothing to them, so I did nothing to receive that. Are you sure? And then you're going to start to understand about reincarnation. Since we have multiple lives, maybe in this life we have done nothing, but you don't know about the last one, the one before that, this one, you don't know. And then things start making sense in your life, in your head. Because if you go through too much suffering, right? And we don't know why, that's the why. That's the why. So, like, thinking about it, you don't have one life. And then things start making sense in your head. Like, all right. So it has a proposal why I'm passing through this, or something happened to me. I mean, I'm talking about huge things, right? But we don't need to understand our past lives to understand this life. Not at all. Just do the inner reformation. Look yourself in the mirror and you're going to see the bad habits and you know where to start.
Absolutely. Yeah, so, like many other things, weaving together is another spiritist principle of know yourself.
Right.
Okay, 168. Is there a limited number of corporeal lives, or does a spirit continue to reincarnate itself forever? With each new existence, the spirit takes a step forward in the path of progress. When it sheds all its impurities, the spirit no longer needs the trials of corporeal life, meaning reincarnation will stop.
Yeah. Um,
Reincarnation as we define it in human form.
right. Right. I mean, according to the spirits, it's always going to be a human form, but prettier, which I don't know what they mean by that, but prettier in so many ways. Yes, in so many ways. But that's a general explanation because there is like thinking about Jesus Christ, he has no need to come and do what he did. As like, I mean, in our vision for sure, from our point of view of enlightened spirits, because he was already one, but he came because he had a task to do and he knew, and he did because of charity, love, and that's why this answer getting more deep here, because some spirits decide to come back to help words like us. But it's nice when we have like beginners studying the spirits book, and we ended up in this question, and some of them, I remember when you have to use the classes in our spirit center here before the pandemic, has this lady, oh, that's my dream, you know, be in the beautiful world and never come back here and be happy forever. Everybody's want to be happy forever. But then when we see this kind of comment, I just realized like how ignorant we are. Like that's not the way you work. What you think is happiness, it's far, far away from the real happiness. And yeah, it's not like, yes, I don't need to reincarnate anymore. I'm in the enlightened world. I'm going to sit in my chair, read my book, and be happy forever. No, that's not work like that.
169. Is the number of incarnations the same for all spirits? No. A person who advances quickly is spared many trials. However, these successive incarnations are always numerous because progress is almost infinite.
There's something that like caught my attention. Progress, it's almost infinite. If you think about that, yeah, we have a long journey.
So, they say that if you pay attention to nature, you can learn a lot. And if you think about, the oldest trees or the oldest mountains and how long it took them to get to the state where they are as grand as they can be, and then they continue to exist. You know, in Northern California, there's a forest they call the big trees, and these are the largest trees. Some of the largest trees on the face of the planet. And trees that you can drive a car through, trees that are extremely tall, and so on. And of course they judge the age of those trees. And while the age is significant, there are other things on the planet that are older than those trees. So, even when you think you're looking at an elevated spirit, this massive, huge old tree, it's not even close to being the oldest thing on the planet. So it's not even close to being a higher, more elevated spirit. Think of it that way.
Well, when I learned about the classification of spirits, and the classification is just a way the spirits found to come and explain us, because there is not such a thing as classifications, but just for us to understand better. And then I learned about the Christus, the spirits like Jesus Christ, and they call the Christus. And when, I think I already mentioned this already, but when Jesus disincarnated, by the type of the spirits that came to him was spirits with more than 6 million years. 6 million years. So according to the spirits that explain that, they are kind of spirits that work with Jesus, and some of them are enlightened more than Jesus. The ones that they are part of this group that take care of the planet and the solar system and so on. But the ones that came the day the crucifixion, to support everything that was happened by the time, was spirits like that. 6 million or 6 billion. No, 6 billion actually. 6 billion. I was like,
Time.
yep.
We're back to this wonderful discussion about time, and the spirit world has a very different perspective on time.
Oh, yes. So they are just like trying to tell us like it's much more about infinite than you guys can imagine. And there are kind of spirits that we have no idea that exist. And they come to protect this planet, this environment, the solar system, and they manage everything, and we have no idea what type of spirits we're talking about it.
Wow. Okay, 170. What does the spirit become after its final incarnation? A perfectly happy spirit, a pure spirit, a spirit with no more impurities.
Yep, no more impurities. So
Only missions.
emissions. And that's it. Um, the beauty of the answers from the spirits, it's they try to give to Kardec what he was asking for, but in a certain way that we can understand. Because what pure spirit means from our, we can we
We
can
can't imagine. We can't even understand the difference between right and wrong.
right. Yeah, let's start like that, from that. Right, wrong, depends. We can. um we are so blind, morally saying, that we can, they exist, but I have no idea what it is to be pure. So the better example that we have, of course, is Jesus Christ, and for us it's just something else already. It's like something that we still trying to understand. That's why we're here today. Spirit like Jesus, we still trying to understand the teachings, the moral, the life. And we're still here doing the same wrong things over and over and over. Imagine what it means like pure spirits. It's impossible. So has this story um, by the moment that Jesus was caught by the Romans, and one of the apostles tried to protect Jesus. I think it was Pedro. I don't remember. I think it was Pedro or John. Pedro. I think it was Pedro. And he was trying to fight with one of the soldiers, and he took a knife or something, a blade or something, I don't remember, and cut one of the ears from one of the soldiers that was trying to catch Jesus. And one more time, Jesus had the chance to teach us something. Well, Jesus said, what they are doing, we not do the same. If you want to teach us something, we do have examples. And Jesus took the ears from the floor that was cut off and put it back because, he was a medium. He could magnetize anything. And he replaced the ear from the soldier. And of course, the soldier was like, what? That's a miracle, something? And what kind of spirit's that? It's like, it's impossible to understand, to measure, and from those stories is the time that I like, yeah, who you do that? Who? No one, none of us. Something else to add, Mark?
Well, just a lot of different variations on how a spirit progresses and gets close to being that pure spirit. Gets close.
Well, when you thinking about like example as, I don't know, Mother Teresa, or even Chico, or anyone that you can think of that like just gave their lives to.
Yeah, Chico's a good example.
Yeah. And thinking about that, probably he was not close to be a pure spirit. Then I just think, imagine me.
Yeah.
Right.
And even more, I don't know what the right word is. It's almost arrogance to think that I should even be concerned about what level I'm at. I have so far to go. I have so much to fix.
What I'm gonna give you an example, a stupid one, but it's like fits perfect in what you said. When I go to the gym, I don't like do cardio at all. I don't like running, those kind of things. When I'm run, like I just set the time like 20 minutes. When it's getting close to 20 minutes, like, okay, I'm gonna pay attention to the watch because I don't want to know how long I have to stay here because I'm gonna get like, no, I don't want to do anymore. I'm tired. So it's the same thing. Don't pay attention where you at, you're gonna be dismotivated.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
go.
Exactly.
Just go. Don't even pay attention on the clock. Just go.
Well, it's this. The word is I am. What's the word? come on, Mark. Uh, I am now accepting of the fact that I will come back in more than one future life, that I will come back to address certain things that I have concluded I didn't do very well in this lifetime. I need to go back and do it again.
No, don't think like that. Like you did a great part. Now you have to come back to do another part. Let's think like that.
Well, you know, if it is simply the point I'm trying to make. It is simply the act of blind acceptance. There's no resisting. There's
Hey.
no point. There's no point in trying to change what has already occurred.
Uh-huh.
And after this many years of living, so much has occurred that, yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah, like I'll be back. Definitely I'll be back. Well, just acknowledge and move on.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't have to discuss the details.
No, not at all. But you know what is like just calm my heart is when the spirit says, you are in your best reincarnation right now. I was like, okay, if I am in my best chance right now in reincarnation, all right, I'm pretty sure I have to come back, but I don't even thinking about what I have done.
Well, and it's not only for me, it's the realization that, uh, you know, I didn't find spiritism until so late in life. And so to have lived a life unconscious of right versus wrong.
Right versus wrong, right?
Yeah. Now I have a basic understanding.
Well, I have a friend and he's the same. He's 62, 64, I don't know. And he said the same. It's like, it took me so long in life, to learn those things. But I don't know if I'm gonna be happy, or much be happy or really scared, because when I just notice and understand all those things, I just understand, oh my gosh, how blind I was and how many things I have done unconscious.
Sure.
But things happen to our life in the time that they must to. And one thing that Haroldo Dutra, this speaker from Brazil, he said once in one of his lecture for 3,000 people, saying, no one here can come to me and say, I don't know about reincarnation. You just don't remember, because everyone here has incarnated so many times. So yes, you guys have the knowledge. You just don't remember or don't want to face it. But everybody here come from a long and long journey. I was like, yeah, that makes so sense.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, because what we carry, you don't carry in the physical body, you carry in the spirit. And the spirit knows that, yep, I came from something and I'm going to somewhere else. you know? So I like when he said that, like, don't come like, I don't know about incarnation. Oh, yes, you do. We have done this for like many, many times in your infinite life. Don't worry about it, you do. You just don't remember.
Okay.
I think that's it.
That's it.
Okay, the next one is the one that we were talking about, justice of reincarnation. The real justice, the God justice, and what is like really trying to make sense for all of us when you come to the point to understand those principles. All right, let's stop in sharing.
It's so nice to see you without a mask.
Right. I can't wait for the moment that we don't need the masks anymore to go out. Unless you can breathe. That's one of the points in the gene as well that we're talking about. You have to do the cardio with a mask. Oh my gosh. Yes, we really have to be willing to do it because that's not a easy task, not at all.
Exactly.
All right, so can you do the final prayer, please?
Sure. Heavenly Father, Jesus, and all the spirits, we thank you for your presence this evening. We thank you for your guidance and support in our lives. And we thank you for all that you do for humans on this planet. We so appreciate the continuous effort to better mankind. And we humbly request permission to close tonight's session. And so be it.
And so be it.